without doing any market research, they just came to the conclusion that a third pound burger
Mm.
would well outperform the McDonald's quarter pounder.
Yeah.
What they forgot and or didn't realize by doing any sort of market research was that Americans are terrible at fractions. And by them coming out with a third pound burger, they actually drove more business to McDonald's because Americans thought that a quarter pound was more than a third pound.
This is Better Wealth with Caleb Guilliams. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Better Wealth Breakdown. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how fractions can change your business. And yes, you heard me right, how fractions can change your business.
Yeah, so it actually starts with a story back in 1972, well before you or I were even a thought. McDonald's came out with the now world famous quarter pounder. So a quarter pound patty. And actually, this is something that I'm thinking of. Back in high school, me and some friends, we prank called a McDonald's in Texas and said we were really upset with our quarter pounder because it wasn't more than a quarter pound, and they were confused. And I said, well, everything's bigger in Texas, isn't it? That didn't go over very well. Didn't land very well. But anyway, so so they were killing it in the 70s with the quarter pounder, and in the 80s, early 80s, A&W was like, you know what? We're going to come to the marketplace with something that people want. They want a bigger burger.
Yes.
And that actually, just like Texas, Americans like all their portion size to get bigger, and they have been, for a very long time. And so without doing any market research, they just came to the conclusion that a third pound burger would well outperform the McDonald's quarter pounder.
Yeah.
What they forgot and or didn't realize by doing any sort of market research was that Americans are terrible at fractions. And by them coming out with a third pound burger, they actually drove more business to McDonald's because Americans thought that a quarter pound was more than a third pound. And
yes. Wow.
It's crazy. But the thing that resonates with me here is even in our own business and what we see in other people's businesses is they come up with ideas that it's like, this is going to be the best thing since sliced bread, but they don't actually do any sort of testing. They don't actually ask their client base, their existing client base, is this something that you think you would want? And I know there's some philosophies of like, just go sell it and then build it.
Yep.
But I think there's a lot of value in having conversations and doing some market research and really seeing, is this something that the marketplace wants?
Right. And so when we were talking about this, we were like, okay, what in our business are we assuming that people want? Or are we assuming that people are like what we're communicating that people are hearing that they're not? So let me explain. It's like, so what do people want? What do you want? Like, we as a company have not done a great job asking. It's kind of like us saying, oh, people don't want X. They don't want their money to be locked up. They don't want their money to be like, they don't want to just have their 401k. So we're going to give them something better, i.e. better wealth. But we have as a company haven't asked you, what do you actually want?
That's right. And actually, Aaron has been asking for a while. It's like, can I talk to some people? I want to hear, what is resonating with them and whatnot. And I think that's something that we're gonna be doing more and more of as we continue to build out the community. If we really want to hear from you guys, like what do you want from Better Wealth? Because that's part of our whole mindset is we want to continually add value to our platform, to our ecosystem, to the content that we're bringing to you every single day. And so please let us know, leave a comment. We would love to, create more content that is tailored to you and the things that you want to hear. And we are really passionate about that.
So a couple things. So people said back in the day, we want more content. We're doing daily content now. People were like, hey, we want a better understanding of how the AND asset works. Like, we built an AND asset calculator. People are like, okay, we want some kind of metric to see where we're at. We now have the Better Wealth model to show you on a 2-line graph. Are you financially balanced or not? Community. We're in the process of building an incredible community. What parts of that do you want? We make episodes when people say, hey, I want you to do a content on this. We'll make that. And so one of the things is number one, anything that I said, is there anything that you're looking for? Number one, when you think about a community, what would make an amazing community? What would you love? Like, what pain are you experiencing now? And what are you like, what would be amazing if we came and were really intentional with that? And I just think if there's something that you're thinking about, or if there's a question that you have, or if there's just an idea that you have, we would love to hear from you. And so My email is caleb@betterwealth.com. You can email me directly. You can email our info box.
Yeah, mine's info@betterwealth.com. Just kidding. It's Dan@betterwealth.com. We really would love to hear from you. And we really do enjoy creating this content for you.
The other thing that I'm going to say is we are also going to be having a project where we start interviewing people in our community and people also that have the and asset or have done different things as it relates to their money and have success. And so if you're listening to this and you're like, number one, I would love to talk to someone on Caleb's team or talk with me personally about what you're going through. And if we could use your case study, we are in the process of building a case study army.
Yeah.
Because really that's one thing that, as we've been asking people, that's one thing it's a common, like, hey, I want to see other people do this. So in summary, we can't do fractions. We should stop assuming that people want a bigger burger, and we should just, first of all, just say, what do you want? And then deliver.
We look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you so much for listening to the Better Wealth Podcast. It would mean the world to me if you could hit subscribe, leave a review, and share this with the people that you know and love.